Hello friends, today we will discuss the topic ecology and environment. The main focus will be on to familiarize the students with basic concepts, namely ecology and environment, to make the students aware about the types and components of ecosystem, to make the students aware of the meaning of environment and its relationship with society. Dear friends, the earth is the only planet where life is found, and this is the reason it is known as the living planet or the sphere of life. The life is made possible on our planet Earth only due to the presence of other components like hydrosphere, lithosphere and atmosphere. It is important to note that life does not exist everywhere on Earth. The existence of life is confined to a narrow zone where all the components meet in the right amounts. This narrow zone where life exists is called as biosphere. Biosphere is everything about life on Earth. It is the place where humans, animals, plants, microorganisms live and interact with each other. Dear students, at the outset, let's discuss ecology. The term ecology is derived from two Greek words. Oikos means house and logos means study. Ernest Haeckel was given credit to coin and define the term ecology. According to Odum, who is known as the father of modern ecology, ecology is the study of a structure and function of ecosystems. Writer was the first person to use the term ecology. R. Misra is known as the father of ecology in India. Ecology is a branch of biology that deals with the scientific study of the interactions among organisms and their physical environment. These two components of ecology, namely organisms and their physical environment, are related and interdependent. These components function as a system in an organized way. Environment influences and modifies the organisms. Also, organisms influence and modify the environment, and accordingly different ecosystems are formed. If we take an example of a school, it is planned and grouped at several levels. Different students and teachers are divided into different classes based on some criteria. These classes, on the other hand, are arranged in the school. In a similar way, ecosystem is also organized at several levels. Ecology includes the following levels of biological organization. Species level. Species is a group of individuals that are genetically linked with each other. They can interbreed to produce fertile young ones. Population level. Population is a group of organisms belonging to the same species. Populations live in same region and interact with one another. Then community level. Community is a group of populations of different species living in a particular area. Populations of a community interact with one another. Now, ecosystem. It consists of all the communities of an area. An ecosystem is made of the biotic and abiotic factors in an area. Now, biosphere. Biosphere is the narrow zone where the life exists on Earth. Biosphere is everything about life on Earth. It is the place where humans, animals, plants, microorganisms live and interact with each other. Dear students, habitat. It is a natural environment of an organism where it grows, lives and reproduces. It is an ecological area best suited for an organism. Habitats vary in the physical and chemical composition. It includes abiotic components like water, temperature, light and soil, and biotic components too, for example, parasites, competitors, pathogens and predators, interacting with them constantly. Life exists not only in the most favorable habitat but also in the most extreme and harsh environment. Ecology at an organism level try to understand how different species adapt to their environments for their survival and reproduction. Now dear friends, what is niche? It includes all the interaction of a species with the biotic and abiotic factors of its environment. Each species has a defined range of various abiotic factors that it can tolerate a number of resources it utilizes for survival and performs a specific functional role in an ecosystem. All these together form a niche which is unique to a species. Dear students, the branch of ecology is further divided into either autoecology or population ecology and synecology or community ecology. Autoecology, it is the study of an individual organism in relation to their environment. It is concerned with the study of a lower levels of biological organization. Then synecology or community ecology, it is the study of a group of organisms in relation to their environment. It is concerned with the study of highest level of biological organization. Dear friends, the ecologists seek to explain various life processes, their interactions, interrelationships, behaviors and adaptation of organisms, the movement of materials and energy through living communities, the successional development of ecosystems, the abundance and distribution of organisms and biodiversity in the context of environment. Now, dear friends, we will be talking about the applications of ecology. There are many practical applications of the ecology. For example, agroecology. It is a sustainable farming that works with nature. Applied ecology deals with the study of conservation and getting economic benefits of organisms. For example, wildlife management, agronomy, etc. Gene ecology is the study of a genetic composition and variation present in the communities compared to the environment and population distribution and origin of new species, ecarts, ecotypes, etc. Urban ecology that deals with the city planning. Human ecology deals with the community health, economics, basic and applied science, and human social interaction. System ecology is the most modern branch of ecology, which takes advantage of applied mathematics, computer science, and advanced statistical techniques to understand the structure and function of an ecosystem. Dear friends, organisms and resources comprise ecosystem that in turn maintain biophysical feedback mechanisms that moderate processes acting on living and non-living components of the planet. Ecosystems sustain life-supporting functions and produce natural capital such as biomass production, the regulation of climate, global biogeochemical cycles, water filtration, soil formation, erosion control, flood protection, and many other natural features of scientific, historical, economic, or intrinsic value. Dear friends, now we will throw light on the concept of environment and its relation to society. The term environment generally refers to the natural surroundings. That is, it covers the physical surroundings that are common to all living beings and include airspace, water, land, plant, wildlife, and flora, fauna. The term environment is formulated on the word environ, that's derived from the French word environner, which means to surround or encircle. The word environment in its etymological sense gives the meaning surroundings, especially the material and spiritual influences which affect the growth, development, and existence of a living being. It means the circumstances or the conditions that surround our organisms or group of organisms or the complex of social or cultural conditions that affect an individual or community. Thus, the context of human beings, environment is the sum of all social, economical, biological, physical, or chemical factors which constitute the surroundings of a man who is both creator and molder to its own environment. Dear students, there are mainly three types of environments. First, biotic or living environment. The word biotic refers to having to do with the living organisms. Biotic elements refer to the biological component of the ecosystem consisting of population of plants, animals, and microorganisms in complex communities. The biotic factors influencing organisms, virus and other parasitic organisms cause disease. There are the parts of an organism biotic environment. The biotic component of the ecosystem consists of three distinct groups of organisms. First, the producers, consumers and decomposers. Producers are those organisms capable of photosynthesis, production of organic material solely from the solar light and carbon dioxide. This organic material serves as the source of both energy and mineral nutrients. The decomposers rely on dead organisms for their existence and survival. In their efforts to survive and obtain energy, they decompose materials released by plants and consumers to their original elements. Second, abiotic factors. It includes the flow of energy necessary to maintain any organisms, the physical factor that affect it and the supply of molecules required for its life functions. Other physical factors include climate, temperature, precipitation including its types like rain, snow, around and seasonal distribution. Types of soil present: sandy or clay, dry or wet, fertile or infertile. All forms of life require atoms such as carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus and molecules such as water to construct and maintain themselves. The organisms constantly obtain these materials from environment by eating food or taking them as through the process of photosynthesis. In the ecosystem, the abiotic components perform three important functions. One, water and oxygen for organisms. They act as a reservoir of the six most important elements for life: carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur and phosphorus. The earth contains only a fixed amount of these elements. Third environment is cultural environment, the stage of development that human beings have attained in the path towards progress will determine their culture as a way of life. Human interaction with the environment also influences the ecosystem. People of different cultures view their place in society from different angles. Among the factors that can shape their views are religious understandings, economic pressures, and fundamental knowledge of nature. Due to this diversity of background, different cultures put different values on the natural world. But the general attitude has been one of the development rather than preservation. Technology has been the key to human progress. Technology has also increased the quantity of environmental degradation. Human interaction with the environment has increased very fast of late. For example, the greenhouse effect is thought to result from the energy consumption, agricultural practices and climate change. It is now felt that we have entered an era characterized by global change that arises from the interdependence between human development and their environment. So, self-consciousness and intelligent management of the earth is one of the greatest challenges facing humanity today. Humans also cause extinction in indirect ways. The building of dams changed the character of rivers, making them less suitable for some species. Now, dear students, we will be discussing the ecosystem. Ecosystem is the structural and functional unit of ecology where living organisms interact with each other and also with the surrounding physical environment. In other words, it is the whole community in which plants and animals live together. For example, tropical rainforest with its trees, animals, etc. make up the ecosystem. In the year 1935, A.J. Tansley coined the term ecosystem. According to the Tansley, ecosystem consists of organisms and inorganic components in a relatively stable equilibrium. As per A.P. Odum, ecosystem is the basic functional unit of organisms and their environment interacting with each other. In an ecosystem, biotic and abiotic components are inseparably interrelated. These components interact with each other as the ecosystem is an open system. The energy and the components can easily flow throughout the boundaries. There are mainly two types of the ecosystems: terrestrial and the aquatic ecosystem. terrestrial ecosystem. This is the ecosystem that exists on land. It can be further divided into following types: forest, grassland and desert ecosystem. Then second type is the aquatic ecosystem. This is the ecosystem which exists in water. It can be further divided into either freshwater ecosystem, that includes pond or lake or river ecosystem, marine ecosystem, which involves the ocean ecosystem. Now dear friends, we will be talking briefly about the structure of ecosystem. The ecosystem mainly consists of abiotic components. It is the non-living component of the ecosystem that includes basic inorganic elements and compounds like soil, water, oxygen and a variety of inorganic or organic compounds. It also includes some other physical factors like humidity, wind and water currents, solar energy, etc. The biotic component of ecosystem includes the living component. In terms of the nutrition, biotic components can be grouped as autotrophs and heterotrophs. What does autotrophs means? It includes green plants and some microorganisms that make their own food with the help of either sunlight or other inorganic matter. While as heterotrophs include non-green plants and all animals that depend on autotrophs for their food needs. On broader scale, biotic components includes producers, consumers and decomposers. Producers, those are autotrophic elements of the ecosystem. They use radiant energy of the sun during the process of photosynthesis, whereby carbon dioxide is assimilated and light energy is converted into chemical energy. Consumers, these are the members of ecosystem which consume the food prepared by the producers and hence are called as consumers. The different class of consumer include primary consumer. These are herbivorous animals that are dependent on the green plants for their direct food. For example, insects, cow, deer, buffalo, goat, etc. Secondary consumers, these are carnivores and omnivores animals which feed on primary consumers and producers or both. For example, sparrows, fox, crow, snake, etc. Then tertiary consumers. These are the top carnivore animals that feed on other carnivores, herbivores and carnivorous animals. For example, lion, tiger, vulture, hawks, etc. Then scavengers and parasites. These are the parasitic plants and animals that make use of the living tissues of different plants and animals. The scavenger uses dead remains of animals and plants as their feed. Then decomposers and transformers. These are living components of the ecosystem. Decomposers and transformers help to maintain the dynamic structure of ecosystem. The decomposers attack dead remains of producers and consumers. Decomposers degrade the complex organic substance into simpler components, whereas the transformers change the organic compounds into inorganic forms that are suitable for reuse by the producers or the green plants, for example, fungi and bacteria. Dear students, there are many biological interactions in the ecosystem. In an ecosystem, all the organisms interact with each other for various needs or benefits, such as food, support, nutrients, etc. Some interactions benefit all the organisms interacting, and in some only one fulfills its need. Few important interactions present in the biosystem. For example, commensalism. One species is benefited and other is neither benefited nor harmed. For example, cattle aggregates or tree and frog. Then amensalism. One species is harmed and other remains unaffected. Disease causing parasites in the human are examples. Then mutualism. When two organisms interact together for the benefit of both species. For example, bees and flower. The association of Azolla and Anabina. Another, competition. Two species competing for the same resources and fitness of one species is affected by the presence of another species. Predation. The relationship of a prey and predator. Parasitism. The relationship between the host and a parasite, where the host benefits the parasite. the host may remain unaffected or harmed. Now, dear friends, towards the end of this topic, we will be discussing the importance of ecosystem. First, the study of an ecosystem provides information about the amount of energy flowing into them, its harvesting and availability at various levels. Second, the density of ecosystem is governed by degree of biogeochemical cycling and the amount of inorganic nutrients entering the ecosystem from the outside. Third, each ecosystem has a number of food webs. The knowledge of food webs is helpful to restore a degraded ecosystem and prevent unscientific exploitation of different ecosystems. Fourth, it provides information about the interrelationships between different types of organisms and amongst organisms with their abiotic environment. Fifth, by knowing the carrying capacity of an ecosystem, it can be known the number of producers and consumers that can be supported by that ecosystem. Sixth, it helps human beings to know about the conservation of resource, protection from pollution, and inputs required for maximizing. Seventh, ecosystems are the basis of life itself. The natural ecosystem in the wilderness provide a variety of products and are regions in which a number of vital ecological processes are present. Without these processes, human civilization would not be able to exist. Now friends, we can conclude today's lecture with this note that nature and environment are commonly used terms for the ecology. Man is seen as a sort of geological force reshaping landscape, favoring some kinds of organisms and destroying others, changing the very composition of the atmosphere. Thank you.